Thanks for joining us on this April 15th, 2013. I'm Jasmine Turner.
And I'm Jason Puckett. We begin today with breaking news out of Boston. Explosions at the Boston Marathon leave death and destruction. Boston police say 2 people are dead. Hospitals in the area report 80 injuries, but that number could increase.
You're watching video from Boston. Police say that there were 3 explosions, 2 near the finish line. Police say a 3rd device was found and detonated safely by police.
The first 2 blasts were at 2:50 p.m. Now, law enforcement told NBC News they think at least 1 explosion was from a small improvised explosive device, a homemade bomb. We have Bristol Witcher on the phone. She's a former ELN student. Now she's at Northeastern University in Boston. She said she was on her way home from work when she heard the explosion. Bristol, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jason.
Bristol, I'm so glad to hear that you're doing all right today. So where are you right now?
I'm at my apartment. It's probably a little bit less than a mile away from where the explosion took place.
And so tell me what happened earlier. You know, you were at work, you heard the explosions. Can you kind of just walk me through that?
Yep, we were at work and we heard one explosion go off and then another one shortly after, and we were all, wondering what's going on. We turned the news on, but at that point, it was too early to tell. They hadn't even localized or figured out what had happened. So, and then they announced that there were 2 bombings. We were just sort of watching the news after that and getting updates.
And tell me about that area. You told me earlier that you walk through that when you come home from work normally. What's that area like?
It's a very busy area in Boston. I mean, especially today with all the people, but it's all the best shopping and hotels and restaurants. So, I mean, it's what you think of in Boston. It's the nicest part, so it's pretty sad.
And what are your plans for now, Bristol? Are you just going to be staying home and waiting this out?
Yeah, they're pretty much encouraging everyone to stay home and not travel in groups at this point. We've got alerts from the campus saying just stay home. There's no need to go out. Everything, for the most part, around that area is on lockdown or evacuated, so there's really nowhere to go at this point.
Well, Bristol, I'm so glad to hear that you're safe, and thank you again for joining us.
Thanks, Jason.
Now, ELN Admissions says 9% of students are from Massachusetts, and we talked to students around campus from the Boston area to get their reactions.
Kind of like it's one day on Patriots Day. There's no school, there's no work, and everybody has a day off to kind of just celebrate the history of Boston. And that's the day where the marathon is. So it's kind of perturbing that there was an explosion there.
And there's so many people just from around Boston that I do know that I'm not even sure if they were running it. So it'd be shocking to hear if someone I knew was hurt.
My dad works at the hospital, and he said they're bringing people there. And he said my brother called him to check, but I mean, haven't heard anything so far.
And we have another Boston connection. Communications assistant professor Dr. Julie Lellis lived in Boston for 3 years. She was a professor at Emerson College and lived near the marathon's finish line. We spoke to her about what the city is like on Marathon Monday.
The finish line is a central part of the city. It's where everyone gathers to see the end of the race. Usually people are coming in and out throughout the day. It's extremely crowded. Public transportation is really difficult to get around. So it's very tight, and I lived around the corner for 3 years, and on Marathon Monday I would go out for a little bit, but it's not something that I wanted to stay out in for a very long time because it feels very full.
Boston Police Commissioner Ed Davis spoke to the media in a press coverage earlier this afternoon to give his advice to the city of Boston.
We're recommending to people that they stay home, that if they're in hotels in the area, that they return to their rooms, and that they don't go anyplace and congregate in large crowds. We want to make sure we completely stabilize the situation.
If you're wondering about your family members or friends who participated in the Boston Marathon, there are a couple of websites you can check. The Red Cross has created a website where those in Boston are able to list themselves as safe and well, or search for participants by name, phone number, or address, or on racedayback.com/IV. You are able to search for runners by last name. Once you find your runner, you can see the times they reached each checkpoint. Boston Police have also set up a hotline. Call the number at the bottom of the screen if you're looking for a loved one.
Coming up after the break, we'll keep you updated with news and more information from the Boston Marathon, as well as local news, and President Obama is expected to address the nation in the next half hour. Stick with us. Welcome back to ELN Local News. We're still covering the breaking news in Boston, Massachusetts right now. There's more information coming in as we speak constantly at the time. Again, President Obama is expected to speak within the next half hour here. We're currently looking into more information about a potential suspect. We're not sure. We have no confirmation on that at the moment. A police commissioner has just said that there is no suspect in custody. But the FBI is ruling it a terrorist attack.
Just to update you with what we have so far, a little bit before 3 p.m., as it's been said, there were 3 bombs that have been confirmed, 2 that happened at the same time, but one that is what happened at the JFK library that is said to have happened, not connected to the first 2.
Now, as we mentioned earlier in the show, there are a lot of systems being set up right now to help people in need in the area. If you go online, you can find sources that will help you find an area to stay, or to find people who were missing or haven't been found since this race. It's also important to know that there are lots of different sources coming in right now, so we'll do our best to keep you updated with information as it comes in.
For those of you who may have family or friends in the Boston area, the Red Cross has set up on their website a place that you can check on them. There's also a phone number that we'll hopefully have for you in the show that you'll be able to call if you want to continue to find out how they're doing.
I'm sorry about that. We're having some technical difficulties right now. Now, it's going on in Boston right now. Again, people still just being cleared out of the area. The latest reports are saying that areas are opening back up, airports are opening back up, but that there is still very strict security throughout the city. Again, here's some video from the marathon explosion earlier today. Another interesting thing to note is that the explosion took place towards the later end of the race. The race started out earlier this morning, so many people had finished the race when these explosions went off. Again, these are right here towards the end of the race. You can see the finish line right there. The grandstand is right behind what we're looking at. And this explosion took place right here across from that grandstand, and just 10 seconds later, a few hundred meters down the road, another explosion.
The one thing that makes this a very hard and tragic day is the fact that today is Patriots' Day. It's a holiday in Massachusetts, so for many people this is just a very happy day, and it's hard to have something so tragic happen in an area in which people love to celebrate and look forward to throughout the year.
And we're hearing that in about 5 to 10 minutes, President Obama will be coming to address the United States on this issue and hopefully give us some more information about the specifics of what's happened, what these devices were, and if there are suspects or not involved. And again, here's some more video footage. This is the aftermath of the incident. You can see the angle is just slightly different than the one we were looking at before. That area off to the right is where the explosion came from and where you see in most of the video. And that grandstand was filled with thousands of family, friends, people come to watch this marathon earlier today. They were all there when that explosion happened. There were more than 25,000 registered racers, and we're not sure of the total number who were there at that moment, but it was in the multiple thousands of people at that time.
Police and the commissioner is also saying that for those who are in the area, because this is such a big event, they're trying to keep people out of crowds, keep them away from large areas just to stabilize everything. For those who are tourists who come to the Boston area to visit for the marathon, they want them to go back to their hotels. There's heightened security at those hotels so that people will be as safe as they can be until things have been stabilized.
And the security has increased up and down the East Coast as well. Washington, D.C. is on high alert. New York City has lined up security and increased lots and lots of security there. It's also important to remember that there are lots of people in the hospital right now. We're not exactly sure. There are lots of different reports coming right now on the number of that. We'll keep you updated through the show. But so far, we're going to head to a break right now at this moment. We'll come back in just a few, and President Obama will be speaking to the nation shortly. Sorry, we're back. We're getting more information right now. President Obama is coming forward to speak to the nation right now?
Yes. We're currently waiting to get the feed in for President Obama's speech that he will be making very shortly. We will keep you updated. We are sorry for the delay.
Here we go. We're going to cut over to President Obama right now.
And Michelle and I send our deepest thoughts and prayers to the families of the victims in the wake of this senseless loss. We don't yet have all the answers, but we do know that multiple people have been wounded some gravely in explosions at the Boston Marathon. I've spoken to FBI Director Mueller and Secretary of Homeland Security Napolitano, and they're mobilizing the appropriate resources to investigate and to respond. I've updated leaders of Congress in both parties, and we reaffirm that on days like this there are no Republicans or Democrats. We are Americans united in concern for our fellow citizens. I've also spoken with Governor Patrick and Mayor Menino and made it clear that they have every single federal resource necessary to care for the victims and counsel the families. And above all, I made clear to them that all Americans stand with the people of Boston. Boston police, firefighters, and first responders, as well as the National Guard, responded heroically and continue to do so as we speak. It's a reminder that so many Americans serve and sacrifice on our behalf every single day, without regard to their own safety, in dangerous and difficult circumstances. And we salute all those who assisted in responding so quickly and professionally to this tragedy. We still do not know who did this or why, and people shouldn't jump to conclusions before we have all the facts. But make no mistake, we will get to the bottom of this, and we will find out who did this. We'll find out why they did this. Any responsible individuals, any responsible groups will feel the full weight of justice. Today is a holiday in Massachusetts, Patriots' Day. It's a day that celebrates the free and fiercely independent spirit that this great American city of Boston has reflected from the earliest days of our nation. And it's a day that draws the world to Boston's streets in a spirit of friendly competition. Boston is a tough and resilient town, so are its people. I'm supremely confident that Bostonians will pull together, take care of each other, and move forward as one proud city, and as they do, the American people will be with them every single step of the way. You should anticipate that as we get more information, our teams will provide you briefings. We're still in the investigation stage at this point, but I just want to reiterate, we will find out who did this, and we will hold them accountable. Thank you very much.
President Obama on the two bombs that happened this afternoon.
President Obama, again, speaking to the American public, he made a plea to bipartisanship in this moment, that none of us are Republican or Democrat in a moment of crisis like this. He also spoke about how he had talked to Governor Deval Patrick and the mayor of Boston and expressed that the full weight of the United States people is behind Boston at this time, and that anything the federal government can do to help will be given to them.
It's also important that we don't jump to conclusions in trying to figure out who has done this, that our top priority is ensuring the safety of Bostonians, and that we as Americans can come together in this great tragedy. As Jason has mentioned, the president did speak about the point of justice being served for those who are responsible for this attack. The government has made it their top priority to find out and make sure that justice will be served.
We're going to head to a break right now. We'll be back with some more updates on what's going on in Boston and some local news. Welcome back to ELN Local News. We've been following the scene at the Boston Marathon, where 2 explosions killed 2 people and injured at least 80. Now, it's important to notice, we just listened to President Obama speaking, and he said again that the American people will support these Boston citizens, and surely all of our thoughts are with them right now.
But now we're going to go to some local news in our area. Burlington police are investigating 2 armed robberies from early Sunday morning. 53-year-old Donnie Lee Eastwood is wanted on charges of armed robbery at the Grill Works on West Webb Avenue. He is also wanted for a motor vehicle theft. Eastwood was last seen driving a 1995 Chrysler Cirrus that was stolen from the Biscuitville parking lot on North Church Street about an hour before the robberies. Anyone with information about these crimes is asked to call the Burlington Police at 336-229-3500.
And this week, hundreds of students affiliated with Greek life at ELN are participating in the annual Greek Week. But this year, one major event may be more logistically complicated than expected. Our Meredith Stutz has the story.
It's that time of year again. ELN sororities and fraternities have joined together for Greek Week to show off their chapter spirit.
It's a lot of fun to see folks interact across organizations. They really get into the eating contest. The Greek Week dance is always a highlight because of the energy and enthusiasm.
The dance is the culmination of Greek Week, where each organization either performs a dance or step routine.
All the sororities and fraternities who have competed in the other events during the week are allowed to participate, but the whole thing is, since everyone really likes the dance, you have to participate in the other events in order to compete in the dance component.
Just when organizations are putting their final touches on the routines, a new problem has come to their attention: seating.
We are challenged by how many spaces are available in the gym and the size of our Greek community. We have about 2,200 students who are affiliated, and the alumni gym has 1,550 flip-down seats.
Plaster says there are more fold-up chairs that will also be used, but even with them, there still may not be enough for all of the students. Wednesday night at Alumni Gym might be very crowded, but that shouldn't take away from the fun of the big night. Meredith Stutz, ELN Local News.
If you want to attend Greek Week Dance, a limited number of general admission tickets are available for $5. They may be purchased in the Office of Greek Life in Moseley 209 starting tomorrow morning. And Wednesday night, make sure you log on to elonlocalnews.com to see all of the dances from the big night. To improve their seating assignment at Greek Week Dance, organizations could earn extra Greek Week points by participating in the annual ELN Dance Marathon. But to some, ELN was more than just a way to have fun. Our Courtney Davis talked to one ELN student who has a big connection to the event.
Every year, miracle children and their families share their stories at the 24-hour dance marathon, ELN.
The only money that's raised is what you're doing. This is amazing. You guys are unbelievable.
I've been standing for over 14 hours because the dancers at ELN stand for the patients of Duke's Children's Hospital who can't stand for themselves.
ELN first year Leah Martinelli knows that feeling all too well.
I had neuroblastoma, which is the leading cause in childhood cancer deaths, and I had less than a 10% chance to live.
Leah was a miracle child. The cancer spread all over her body, so the Martinellis tried an experimental treatment in New York.
They pulled me and my family aside and said that there's no longer anything they can do for me because my organs were too damaged from the chemo, and if they kept going, I wasn't going to make it.
So her family turned to Duke Children's Hospital.
I called up the head brain surgeon at Duke and said, you got to help me. Henry, Friedman is his name. He said, I'll talk to my wife. So she calls up, she's looking up with a plan.
The plan was to give her a bone marrow transplant from her brother, who was a perfect match.
I have been in remission ever since.
This year was Leah's first year being a student dancer at ELN.
For people to be, not have been through it and not know anything, and them still being involved is, the most indescribable, best feeling ever, because you just don't, they don't realize how much, that they're really helping us. I just know that it's going to be so big one day, and there is going to be a cure, and it's because of people like you.
Courtney Davis, ELN Local News.
What a great positive story right now. And ELN raised more than $200,000 for Duke Children's Hospital, more than doubling the amount raised last year.
Coming up on ELN Local News, how often do you work out? We talked to one student who takes her fitness very seriously. And later, join me for a tour through a local brewery to celebrate North Carolina Beer Month. I did get the chance to check out the Red Oak tour this week, but we're actually going to push that online. You're going to want to check out that story at our website later this week. Today kicked off Pride Week at ELN. Although there is an established LGBTQIA community on campus, not everyone is accepting of differences. Our Corey Shegda has the story.
I'm gay and I'm very okay with that.
First-year student Diego Fernandez is open about his sexuality, but as Pride Week starts today, Fernandez says he is not as excited as other people are.
I don't feel the necessity to be celebrating the fact that I'm gay for some reason because it's so natural for me.
Instead of large public celebrations, Fernandez says understanding is the first step to accepting someone who is gay.
I really feel we have the respect, but we should understand more. We should go deep and really get to know the reasons people are like this.
One thing first-year student Jackson Edwards was relieved to find when coming to ELN was acceptance. ELN promotes this through the Multicultural Center with programs such as Safe Zone and Deep Impact, which provide a place for conversation and support.
The first session I went to, they talked about how like they have anything available if you need it, such as if you're struggling with coming out or anything, you can actually go to a counselor.
And the Powell House is home to ELN's LGBTQ resource room, which has books, DVDs, and people to help educate students who are LGBTQ. Both Edwards and Fernandez believe ELN has done an exceptional job helping them adjust to accepting who they are. Corey Shegda, ELN Local News.
Spectrum is sponsoring Pride Week events all week. Starting tomorrow, 30-second marriages will be performed at College Coffee, and on Wednesday there will be an identity workshop in Belk 208. Trollinger House will host an open mic night on Thursday, and Friday will be marked by a day of silence that will break at 4 p.m. Finally, on Saturday there will be a second chance at prom at Hardin Clubhouse.
Along with Pride Week, Communications Week also kicked off today. The week celebrates the students and faculty of the School of Communications. Some highlights of the week include Thursday's session in McEwen 009 titled How to Succeed as a Communications Major, hosted by the Communications Honor Society Lambda Pi Eta. And on Friday morning, there will be a roundtable scholarship presentation and luncheon in Studio B in McEwen.
Ever see the names etched into bricks on campus? Well, the Pave the Way Brick campaign offers the opportunity for ELN graduates to have their names placed on bricks in the new Alumni Center. With the university approaching its 125th anniversary, gifts of $125 will give an alumni's name be put on a brick. The new Alumni Center opens this fall at the corner of Haggard and O'Kelly Avenue.
If you took a walk on ELN's bricks on Saturday, you may have seen students gathered at the Truant Center for an all-day conference about being women of color at ELN. The interactive event was designed to create a network to discuss life as a woman of color in the workplace, at home, and at school. We talked to sophomore Daniela Dwyer about why the event was held and what they hope to accomplish.
The event is the Women of Color Institute. It's an affinity space for all women of color here on ELN's campus to come together to identify with what it means to be a woman of color in the 21st century and what that means as we are leaders here on ELN's campus and as we branch out into other areas here in the North Carolina area.
Okay.
And as we wrap up our show, we just want to continue to inform you all and recap about what has happened in Boston today. As many of you have known and we have talked about, at 2:50 today, an explosion happened, 2 explosions within 2 seconds, and a third was confirmed that happened at the JFK Library. It has also been confirmed that there are 80 people that have been injured in that, and at least 2 people have been confirmed dead.
And we're going to play some video real quick from Suffolk U News. What you just heard in that video was the actual first explosion on the ground there at the marathon, and you could see the reaction of those people as they heard that sound at the same time. And that sound you just heard as well was the second one about 10 seconds later, just down the street from the first one. And again, those blasts both took place right there at the end of the marathon, right across from the grandstand where all the families and friends were sitting. You can see the people clearing out of there very quickly. And this is from a reporter at Suffolk University, student reporter, excuse me, in Boston. Now, another interesting thing, the Red Cross has put out a statement saying that in a time like this, everyone can give back. They call for anyone in the local area to come and donate blood if possibility, and they say that for anyone else who wants to help and give back outside, they're always thankful for money donations. But they also announced a little bit of good news here today that for this tragedy, they have enough blood to meet the demand here that is required after this.
And for anyone who may be still searching or worried about their family and friends, there are services and there's a phone number that you can actually call, 617-635-4500. And
ELN Local News will stay on top of this incident. We're going to have coverage tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Bristol Witcher again up there in Boston so she can update us more on what's going on the streets there. Tomorrow morning, hopefully we'll have that for you. So please stick with us. Everyone here at ELN Local News' thoughts are with the people in Boston as well.
And continue to stay updated on our Facebook and Twitter as we will keep you updated with this tragedy.
Have a good week, ELN.